Hey there, this is Haplin, and in this module, we're going to be talking about implementing conversation AI. Of course, it'd be ludicrous to think that we could get through an entire playbook without there being a very obvious opportunity to implement some AI. That said, this conversation AI feature that we're going to be going over right now is just one small sliver of the full opportunity that is the AI employee inside of HighLevel. The AI employee encompasses a bunch of different features. It's a whole suite of different features that apply to different areas of the platform. Conversation AI is just one of those, and I'm going to be showing you how to build off the modules that we've already completed with regard to database reactivations and some of the Fast 5 lead nurturing stuff that we've been going over to build off of that and use AI to manage those conversations. But just note that there is a lot more that AI can do that we're not covering. I highly recommend that you check out the full suite of AI features encompassed in the AI employee. You can do that by clicking the link beneath this module. It's going to show you not just all the different opportunities there are with AI, but also how to do the initial setup steps to make sure that the AI employee is enabled. This is also something that we can help you with on your kickoff call. So if you have not done so, please make sure you get on your kickoff call and make sure that you have our team walk you through some AI setup. Okay, that said, let's jump into this specific use case. You're going to head to sub-account settings, and then we have conversation AI right here. And here we can now create a conversation AI bot. We have three different starting places for our AI bot: general Q&A, appointment booking, and start from scratch. I'll go ahead and do general Q&A since that's the most obvious use case for this swag store offer. And now there's a lot of settings with conversation AI, and I'm not going to go fully in depth into all of them. This is more of a launching point to get you started on your AI journey. But that said, I do want to make sure that you're properly empowered to start taking confident steps down that path. Just to kind of put it in a nutshell really quick, what we are going to be setting up here is a way by which we can handle all our SMS conversations via AI. In previous modules, we learned how to engage a lead right away after they've filled out our 15% off lead magnet form on our product list in that pop-up. And we also learned how to reactivate a list on a Black Friday offer and or on any kind of offer that you want. Both of these strategies often lead to SMS conversations. That is a very, very good thing for building momentum along a sales pipeline. I do not care what you're selling, having an SMS conversation with someone on their phone is a good way to help you sell more of it. And if you're brand new to this world, if SMS conversational lead nurturing is a foreign concept to you, I actually recommend running with this by hand for a little bit. Just put a little more time and energy in to paying attention to the conversations tab. You will get responses from messages, even the ones that don't ask direct questions. You have a text-enabled line for a business, and that is out there. You'd be surprised at how many people just prefer to communicate with the business over that line. And so it really behooves you and or the business to have somebody on the other side of that line to make sure that the conversation actually is picked up and responded to. And like I said, if you've never done this before, I recommend just doing it for a little while by hand. Pay attention to the conversation, see when responses come in, send a message back. It's a really magical and powerful thing. For many folks trying to get more into digital marketing, and especially those using HighLevel, that first conversational sale that you make, or that first appointment that you set, or that first positive outcome that is bolstered or made more efficient or smooth or helped by an SMS conversation, that's a real light bulb moment for a lot of new folks doing this. I know that for me personally, it was a massive milestone in my career when I first realized the power of having a live SMS conversation with my prospects. But that all said, I don't want to make you nurture by hand forever, especially when we have such a beautiful tool here that's going to help us automate the whole thing. So welcome to Conversation AI. Once you are ready, AI is going to be handling all these messages for us. We start just by giving our bot a name. This name can be anything you want. It could be descriptive in terms of the outcome it's trying to achieve. It could be a name like Ashley, like I just picked. Next is bot status. By default, they're all turned off. This means nothing's happening. Suggestive means in conversations, it's going to show you suggestions for what it would say if it were on. You can click those and send so that it's like AI is sending with your help, just to make sure that you see the message first before it actually sends. This is a nice little soft launch step. If you're a little timid about just putting the AI straight to work, you can kind of check out all of its messages, what it would be saying first. and get your eyes on it, make sure that it has a certain level of efficacy before you actually set it to autopilot. But that said, once you do set it to autopilot, then it will just be responding to messages and you can walk away. Next up, we select the supported channels. We can select any of these channels in here. I certainly recommend for the strategies that we've been talking about in this playbook, SMS is the main conversational channel that you'll want to make sure you have covered. But there are so many great ways to use high level for conversational lead nurturing across all these different channels. Instagram direct messenger, Facebook Messenger, a live chat widget on a website, and WhatsApp, etc. Next, we have some advanced settings, and these are actually pretty straightforward. We can just dial in the business name. If it's blank, then it will use the settings profile name. Just over here in business profile, it will refer to the friendly business name right here, but you can override that by putting whatever you want in this field. Next is configuring the amount of time we want it to wait before responding. So by default, it will wait 2 minutes. We could set this to be a little faster, more like 30 seconds might be appropriate, just so that we don't leave our leads hanging. Maximum number of messages a bot can send in a conversation, also very straightforward. Nice to just have guardrails up. If somebody is just messaging the bot over and over and over, eventually it will stop responding after however many you want. 10 is the default. You could make it 100, you could make it 1. Actually, I lied when I said 100. The max is 25, so you can have anywhere between 1 and 25. You can also send the bot to sleep when you send a message manually or through a workflow. So if you're communicating to that lead and you want the bot to get out of the way, have this turn on and it will automatically just turn off for a certain temporary amount of time. And then pricing, this is just going to clarify how much each request costs. This is just the bare bones cost of AI. Again, you can learn more about our AI employee pricing in the link beneath this video. You can either pay as you go or you can do unlimited, which gets you access not just to unlimited conversation AI, but unlimited AI employee features across the entire system. But anyway, that does it for this bot settings page. Then we get into training. This is where we can start to train our bot on the specifics of the business. The first and most important is the web crawler. So I can actually put in any domain that I want in here and it will automatically go read through that website, pull all the information that it can from both text and images and videos, whatever it can possibly glean to learn more about that business. It's going to go train itself on all the business details. This is another little neat trick. You can actually paste in a Google Doc into this area. So if you have a form that your client fills out with some of their basic details, the most commonly asked questions, etc., you can save time by just having them fill that out on the Google Doc, pasting the Google Doc in here, and voila, now your bot knows everything it needs to know. Another way to achieve a similar effect is by adding customized bot responses Q&As one by one right here, so I could just type in the question and the answer manually. So for example, I just put in a question, how tall are you? And it's going to answer, I'm 7'3". Next, over on the right hand side, we can test our bot. This is where we can actually have a conversation with the bot to see if it has properly trained itself on the website and or will properly respond to the questions. So for example, I'm just going to ask it, how tall are you? And let's see if it knows the answer. And voila, it's doing pretty well so far. And the cool thing about this test box here is that you can train the bot like proactively in real time by giving it either a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Or you can click on this star and that will pull up all of the different elements that are training this bot, influencing its response, and you can update that as needed. Speaking of which, there's one other area that is influencing this bot's responses that we haven't gotten to that is maybe the most important, and that is bot goals. So if we click on bot goals, we can see that this is going to bring up the actual prompt. So here, as you can see, we have a template that's a great starting point for most businesses, including different fields for personality, intent, and additional information. We also have a lot of resources on how to write a good prompt. You can click learn more or prompt guidelines to get that information. And we also have this area for set up actions. And this is the way by which the bot integrates with other pieces of the platform. So if you wanted to have an appointment booking bot, you could set up appointment booking, actually integrate it with a calendar. Of course, High Level has a whole calendaring and appointments feature, and AI can set appointments for a business. We can also have it trigger a workflow, so we just need to make sure that we dial in which workflow we want it to send and when. So basically, what prerequisites need to be met in order to trigger the workflow. And lastly, we can add contact info. So if you want to try to glean information from from the contact, like their address, or if they have a pet or something like that, you might have the bot ask for that information and then update a custom field when that information is gathered. That all said, a good rule of thumb is whenever you're updating a contact field or training it to trigger a workflow upon a certain condition or any of these setup actions, it's good to also train the bot in the prompt. So either copy paste and or expand on exactly how you want the bot to proceed in the conversation, not just in the actions area, but mirror that in the prompt area as well, typically under additional information. Again, we have a lot more in-depth and advanced AI training in our prompt guidelines and learn more. In fact, we have an entire separate playbook called the AI Employee Playbook that will take you through some of this stuff more in depth. So now you have the mechanism to be able to confidently pursue those strategies we were talking about earlier in the playbook. Send out lead nurturing messages that ask questions, that expect responses, try to solicit conversations to be generated, knowing that when the lead responds to you, your AI is going to make sure it takes care of them on the other side. Make sure you check out the other resources to continue diving deeper in how to get the most out of conversation AI, as well as the other AI employee features. Make sure that you've got your bot well trained and thoroughly tested before you send it live, and then even once it is live, you should probably plan on checking in on it, making sure that things are going smoothly, continually giving it thumbs up and thumbs down on messages that it sends in real time. It will continue to give you the option to train it just like it does in the test your bot box right here. You'll actually have these options to continually train it in live conversations as well. So you'll want to check in on those conversations, make sure that you're continuing to optimize your bot. That's all for this module. You can go ahead and move on.